Nearly 3 million people play daily fantasy sports games in Texas, and the state's attorney general says they're all breaking the law. Attorney General Ken Paxton issued an opinion saying Texas law makes sites like FanDuel and DraftKings illegal.
KXAN's political reporter Phil Prazen has been following this story for months. He's here now to explain what today's decision means for sports fans.
Well, Robert, Aaron, the big companies that run daily fantasy sports will not like these few pages from Paxton. For years, they've said players use their skill to win. Therefore, it's not gambling. But Ken Paxton argues fantasy players use more chance as they bet on the skill of the athletes. He goes on to say daily fantasy games are illegal because you bet on the performance of a participant in a sporting event and the house takes a cut. Now, Saturday night, we showed you how the Daily Fantasy Sports Trade Association was already gearing up in anticipation of this opinion. They're collecting signatures and pushing players to email lawmakers to change the law in 2017. The association's chairman tells me they'll keep fighting to allow Texans to play daily fantasy sports.
It's important for them to be able to keep playing, and obviously it's important for us as an industry to be able to continue to operate in Texas.
So how does this impact you? It's already laid out in Texas law. If you play daily fantasy sports, you commit a Class C misdemeanor. That's like a speeding ticket. If you operate or promote daily fantasy sports, it's a Class A misdemeanor. Punishment could be a year in jail and a $4,000 fine. These cases are handled by county attorneys. So far, Travis County has never prosecuted somebody for daily fantasy sports.
Okay, Phil, thanks.
And Texas is not the first state to try to stop the sites from operating. Some have been successful, others have not. The attorney generals in New York and Illinois issued similar rulings, but the companies still operate there after DraftKings and FanDuel sued. According to the Legal Sports Report, people in a half dozen other states cannot participate. The companies made the decision to cut them off in most of those states. In Nevada, officials say the companies had to stop operating until they obtained a license. Today's ruling affects daily fantasy sports, which is different from traditional fantasy sports leagues like the ones often run by groups of friends. The daily sites typically require an entry fee. Prizes come from those entry fees, but the companies take a cut of the winnings. Again, that's what the Attorney General says makes the sites illegal. Paxton says traditional fantasy leagues are allowed under Texas law because the only people who make money are the people playing the game.